Well, that feels pretty good. Yeltsin, how you going, man? I'm good, man. How are you? I just got back from work, and here I am straight away. Working out. I'll just warm up my my elbows, and I'll get to it right away. There we go. That's on. Oh, man. This is so fucking annoying. Let me fix that up. Give me a sec, man. I'm gonna get myself a what do you call it? Power tool. And unscrew that thing and piss it off, because that's annoying me proper. All right. All right. Let's see if I can get rid of this bloody metal thing. It's proper pissing me off. Is this gonna be it? Oh, let's have a look. All right, let's get rid of it. Oh, fuck, this is heavy. Over here. All right. It is what it is, boys. Bit of an interruption. Oh, you're at the airport. Oh, where are you headed? How's the row bar? Yeah, the row yesterday, man. Smashed it. I did like 11 sets, working sets with it. I went a bit extreme with it. But it was good. Oh, you didn't know about the auction? Well, neither did I, man. And a lot of people didn't know about the auction, but my missus found out about it and let me know, and that was, yeah, I just jumped on it right away. Let's just keep going up. Mm-hmm. I guess I'll get rid of this now. Oh, fucking hell. I hate clutter. I hate clutter in the gym because this is what happens when you got clutter. I can't even fucking walk around here. I gotta fucking do something about this shit. Oh, knocked my noggin pretty good. Oh. The gym is all messed up. This should be here so I can fucking walk around. You know what, boys? I think it's time. This is one too many times that I've hit my head. One too many bloody times, I tell you. All right, time to move shit around. This is going to be a bloody workout. Before I do that, let me do a set here. All right. And now how am I going to make space here and do this? And now, Now, get this thing back here now. Oh. And just leave it here. I think this was the original plan originally, but I couldn't make sense of it at the time because it was quite rocky concrete here. All right, at least there's more space here now. What do you fellas think, huh? It's annoying. No matter which way you go, in some home gyms, there's no place for it. So now this can't fit in here. I'll just have to leave it here like this. But then the bar's going to hit here. We'll have to make sense of it later on. For now, you can stay here. And now you're tired before you even start working out. This little shit. Last night I thought about all sorts of different ways to train the extensors, and I don't like any of them. I've been thinking about, okay, I think the bench feels better when I train extensors first. And so I thought, like the squat, right? Having the same type of conversation. What do you train? Adductors first, then squat, and then abductors after. Same type of thought I had with bench press. What's better to train on the forearms, extensors or flexors first? And when I train flexors first, my bench feels absolute shit afterwards. I don't know. I don't know which way to go. The bands, this feels really shit to do. The cables, absolutely shit. Whereas flexors feel amazing when you do I don't know, dude. See, when I do this, I thought last night in bed, as I was laying there, I was like, this is going to feel sick tomorrow. I guess it's not too bad, but it's not what I thought it was going to be. I didn't think it was going to be feeling like that. Oh, fucking hell, man. Sometimes you have all these ideas about training and then you walk into the gym and it all turns to shit. Like, why doesn't it feel any better than that? See, this motion for me is just rubbish. It's either rotational or flexion. That didn't feel good at all. I just got a new PI in bench today, 135 kilos. Been a long time coming. Next up, 140. Keep it going, man. Fit at 60. Maybe we're all a bunch of wannabe gym owners. Maybe that is Ivan's true calling. Oh, dude, I would love it, man. I'd love to be surrounded by this type of lifestyle. Moving shit around. Finding the right equipment. Testing it all out. I'd love it. I would love it. Did I just fucking bend the... Alright. That's not gonna rock. See, it all feels good. Like, I feel like the hands opens up. No, that's all shit. I think I'm going to give up on training extensors. That's a fucking waste of time. Can't get it to feel good at all. But when you do flexes feel really nice. $18 is good. Let's go to 22. All right, boys, let me recalibrate yous. I'm gonna go here for a bit. Can you guys see anything? Oh. Alrighty. One thing that helped my lower back strength and health was back extensions with the bar and plates. Standing abs on that pulling machine. I haven't tried not yet, man. I haven't done a core heavy training period yet. I've been just so immersed in this benching. Benching has been feeling amazing lately, and so I've just been focusing on that. So every training session I come in, and now that you guys see the lives, you get to see exactly what I get up to. But I just kind of, I've tried all sorts of different exercises, like as a warm-up for bench, and then after that, I'll go into the squat type of thoughts. You know, accessory for the squat. I'm not in the squat period yet, but I'm focusing a lot on the accessories. So like right now with the new machines, I'm smashing the adductors and the abductors, doing a lot of that. And in about a month or two, I will change and start to put a lot of volume into squatting and even more accessories for the squats. And then I'll make bench press what the squat is right now, which is a whole stack of singles. That's how I'll move until the rest of the year. Just focusing on different things. Towards the end of the year is going to be deadlift. I'll go nuts on the deadlift, try and replicate the period I had last year, and try and see. Right. Some more of this. David says, your back is fried today, eh? No, not really. Back feels pretty good, man. Heat 36, what's up, man? How are you? Vanny in the background, hope to witness another awesome rant during this live. Oh, appreciate you, man. I can't read that, man. Why are you torturing me, enthusiast? Why am I doing wrists? I'm doing wrists for elbows for bench press. It's all about the bench press. He seems, his extensions. Yeah, when I feel shitty about my body, I tend to get pissed off easily. Fucking hell. Oh. At least I can fucking walk through here now without banging my head on the barbells. Look at this. No banging, no rattling. I can freaking walk through. Yeah, let's just leave it like this. This is okay. All right. What's kind of really annoying is when you have sickness and you come back and you feel like you've lost 20% of your strength. So annoying, man. That's why I never feel strong during winter. Because it's like a string 4 weeks of good training and then get sick. Bang. 20% back. Off you go. Straight away you lose progress. And that's life. Oh, yeah, it's full. All right. So, starting to bloody sweat. So, let's not do that. How heavy do you think you are willing to get absolute max? Oh, I don't know, man. Every time somebody asks me a question about this, about weight and gain and all that, all I ever think about is my health. And you ask me how heavy do I want to get, and what I hear is how unhealthy do you want to get. And whenever you have that in your mind, you're always like, you know, well, I don't want to get unhealthy. Health is a very big priority for me, and so I don't like to think about it that way. You know, obsessed over body weight. It's more so like, you know, yeah, I don't really know how to think about that. I don't want to be 140 kilos. That's for damn sure. I don't want to be 130 kilos. Do I want to be 110? 110 seems doable because I don't think my health will suffer that much. at 6'1", 110 kilos. It's a fair bit. But you know, like a couple of years ago, if you said to me, like, would you ever get to 100? I'd say, hell no. And here I am at 103 kilos, 102, whatever the hell I am now. I haven't even weighed myself after the sickness, but seems like my general reaction is always, I don't want that. But I don't know. I don't know, to tell you the honest answer. I really don't like how this is going to feel. This is not going to feel well. Fuck. See, I can't even get to 23 anymore. That was 22 and that was shit feeling 22. Terrible. Fucking terrible. Unbelievable. So terrible. It's moving so shit. A week later, I'm feeling terrible. Ah. 22 reps. Fucking hell. Shocking. Sam says, I had golfer's elbow recently for about 10 weeks. I need to do more grip stuff. Absolutely. Sam, that's the best way to treat it. Look at arm wrestling exercises and you'll be on your merry way to recovery. I think you should start to go for the heaviest body weight. Call it quits at 40 and do bodybuilding. I don't like the sound of that, man. That doesn't excite me at all. To get my fattest and my strongest, that's not what I'm after. It's not what I'm after. I can't make that my goal. What gets me excited about training is when I think about, you know, perfecting my mobility, my positioning, my strength, my weaknesses. I like to think about that. And if the body weight comes as an accessory to those goals, sure. But to make weight as a focal point of what I'm trying to do, just doesn't ring nicely to me. Have I used a GHD recently? Not recently, no. Out of curiosity, would you ever hop on steroids if you were to continue training upwards of 40 in age, or will you stay natural to the end? My friend, I have trouble conveying my displeasure about creatine, let alone TRT, dude. All of that shit is poison. And anybody that tells you otherwise is just tricking themselves. A 60-year-old shouldn't get a testosterone count of a 20-year-old. Why, you might say? Why, Ivan? Why? Come on, man. Why? What people don't realize is that with testosterone levels comes many other different things. Many other different things. Life goes up and down, and in every portion of your life there is advantages of it. When you're 20 years old, you can't think clearly at all. You can't be a wise man because you're too busy being obsessed about flesh. Why? Well, because your testosterone is at peak, 700, whatever the hell it is. Peak of natural average. It's peaking. And so anytime a girl walks past, your mind goes to only one thing. So you can't string two damn thoughts together. You can't think about anything productive because you're so obsessed with your flesh. If that girl walks past a 70-year-old, that 70-year-old doesn't immediately think about flesh. That 70-year-old mind continues to think about thoughts that he was thinking about. And so some of the wisest people that have ever lived get quoted and have peak of mental production when they're 70. If you decide to take testosterone in your 60s and your 70s, unfortunately what you're doing to yourself is you're completely removing the ability for your body to ever have its peak mentally. Wisdom, thought, intelligence, all of the experiences you have in your life, the history, it peaks around that retirement age. You've seen the world, you've tried the flesh, you've made conclusions, and now you're at peace. There is a peace about you. There is a calmness about you. And you can think about things fully without your body interrupting your thought process because, oh my God, I just got a random bloody boner in the middle of my thought and all of a sudden I can't do anything other than think about that one thing. And so all of these blokes are thinking about, TRT, blah, blah, blah. They completely don't understand that aspect to it. Every portion of your life has its advantages and disadvantages. Don't prolong or interrupt the later stages of your life. That is where a lot of beauty lives. Also, the higher testosterone count, the more incidence you have of cardiovascular disease. This is why women will outlive all of us in an average sense. The testosterone is almost like a poison in some sense. And so these people that are injecting it because all they ever think about is the vanity of having more muscles are missing something up here, man. They don't have depth of thought, depth of soul. All they think about is something very, very superficial. And I feel sorry for those people because they think they want to be a 20-year-old to attract a mate. Who are you going to attract? Attract for what? I'm 36-year-old and I couldn't even think about dating a 20-year-old now. They're just different brave brain wavelengths. What am I going to talk to? There's no connection there. There's nothing. Me being 50, 60, 70, am I going to chase a 20-year-old? Are you kidding me? There's no connection there. There's no rapport there. There's nothing there. They're in a different stage of life. They're obsessed with flesh. I hope that I'm not obsessed with flesh at 60 and 70 years old. I will continue to train without a doubt, but I'm not obsessed with this thought of I want to be the biggest in the room and the most sexiest in the world and the biggest on the social ladder in this room or whatever the hell it might be. I want to be at peace. I want to have calmness about me so I can think. That to me is beauty. I sometimes think to myself, I want to be like some of those philosophers I once thought about and read about. None of those guys were in strip clubs and in brothels when they were 70 and obsessing about women when they're 70. No, they don't have that pool. They don't want to chase. They are calm. Calmness. Peace. You will have peace in your older age. And that is a beautiful thing. But some people don't want peace. Interesting. Oh, all right. Let me try get 15 here at least. Terrible, boys, terrible. Absolutely bloody terrible. No pop, no strength, flatness. I'm really depleted. Thank you, sickness. Really appreciate you. I had all this fucking momentum and I got nothing. And now I'm completely not getting everything wrong. This is where I have to reevaluate everything. Because the idea was to get 20s, not 15s. Terrible. Now the very bloody thought that I have is being interrupted. Because I can't do 20s now with 100 kilos. In a way, this would kind of be nice. I just leave benching and start with squats. Because there's no point. What the fuck am I doing? What am I doing here? The sickness has interrupted me. I might as well fucking just quit the bench and start squatting for volume. Start from scratch. When you have momentum in life, it's a beautiful thing. When you lose momentum, you're really feeling like you're going uphill. That's what I feel like with bench press now. I remember how 100 used to pop off my chest. Now they have nothing off my chest. Why? Who the fuck knows? Hey, Anthony, Mario. What are your thoughts on creatine? Sam, watch yesterday's video. We got lots about it. We talked about it at great lengths. Great response. I've never thought of it this way, sir. The reason I asked is because of the inflation of men taking TRT or other enhancements of that age in this day and age. Ram, yeah, I know. It's when you have 50, 60-year-olds making poor decisions in their life and chasing what 20-year-olds are chasing, it should be an alarm. It should be a very, very big alarm for a 60-year-old man to try and look sexy, or 70-year-old man trying to look sexy. Bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what are we doing here, man? I'm not telling you to not look fit and not to get healthy, no doubt. Get healthy. But notice this. You are injecting something into your muscle, right? There's got nothing to do with health. You looking more swole and bigger than a 30-year-old, there's something really wrong with that. And you are literally putting one foot in the grave if you're doing that. Your blood pressure will go up, everything goes up, you're putting yourself at a huge risk. You're already at a massive risk in 60s and 70s of a heart attack. And now you're injecting compounds? Like, holy shit, dude. Like, read a book or something, man. Like, understand something, you know. And if you're still like convinced to do this, then I would encourage you to like go to church or go to a mosque. Think about your spirit, think about afterlife, think about some of these deeper issues. You're 60, 70 years old, dude. Think about some of this stuff. If you're crazy about fitness, absolutely be crazy, but like take care of your body. What the fuck are you doing, dude? You should be the smartest and the wisest at this point of your life. And for you to inject shit into your body so you can compete with a 30-year-old, that all the 30-year-old can do is think about chasing tail? Like, fuck, dude. You've got 30 years plus of more experience and you're doing that. That to me is ridiculous. And I absolutely, Ram, I know where you're coming from. There's so many people online right now taking pictures of themselves and saying 6 months of hard dieting and training. Yeah, absolutely, bro. That's all you've been doing. You've gone from 100 kilos to 80 kilos, shredded, full, swollen looking muscles. All you ate was carrots and you did bench press. Of course. Absolutely. I'm sure there is a 16, 17-year-old that can believe you. Not me, bro. But anyway, you know, and that's another thing. Who are you trying to mislead? The kids of the next generation with your messaging? Like, really? Not only have you not found your own mind, but you're now trying to poison the mind of the following generation. You should be a leader. You should be a teacher. You should be saying to people, look, I'm on the other side of that hill, man. Like, I know what the struggle is. Let me clear some thoughts out for you. All you're doing with that messaging is further confusing the situation. And most people on the other side of that hill, they're looking at you like, what the hell's wrong with you, dude? Go look after your grandkids or something, man. Like, why are you obsessed with that? That, to me, is a very puzzling thing in the Western world. Like, the Western world seems to be a degenerative world, and we are fast collapsing, man. Fast collapsing on all fronts. We have lost all character as a society. We have lost all direction, understanding, and we're just now being fueled by this OnlyFans culture where we're obsessing about somebody paying for our flesh. Like, oh my God. Is that the depth of your character? Is that the depth of your soul? That you want a bit of bread? You got enough bread, but you want a Lambo. What are you going to do with the Lambo? Do drive it around the suburb and be like, ha ha, I've got a Lambo, you don't. I'm sure that doesn't feel great, man. I'm sure that doesn't feel great. Who are you going to hang around with? How many people are having Lambos? You're going to just isolate yourself from the general population. I'm sure that feels fantastic. I don't understand, dude. I honestly don't understand what these people are about. I don't understand what the messaging here is. But, you know, these people are on completely different wavelengths to me, and that's fine. Look, I'm 36 years old. I'm concerned about many different things. But I think all of us have a common goal, and that common goal is to freaking be happy and peaceful in this life. It's not about the wealth. Look at the Hollywood. Look how many people are necking themselves in Hollywood. Look how many people are getting divorces in Hollywood. Look how many people are getting hooked on drugs. Do they seem happy to you? So what the fuck are you chasing these people, man? Why are you chasing some of these A-lister celebrities? Dude, they are necking themselves, dude. They are literally necking themselves and taking prescription pills to dull the pain. And you look at them and you're like, you're my hero? Open your fucking eyes, man. But here we are. We're in this fitness industry that is completely gutted and poisoned by this false messaging. And the vast majority of people are completely hazed. You're in a cloud of this wrong thinking, you know? And it hurts me. Like, I love the fitness community. I love talking about weights. But every other corner, it's like, dude, you know, what's your stack? Fucking, what do you mean, what's my stack? Yeah, dude, I read Socrates in the fucking morning. I read Aristotle in the afternoon. And at night, I read Aurelius. That's what I do. That's my fucking stack. My stack. What needles are you injecting? It's fucking embarrassing, dude. It's super cringe. Oh, dude, my bench press is fucking 1,000 pounds. I'm 17 years old. Good for you, dude. Good for you. How's your soul? Are you happy? Fuck out of here. The world's in trouble. Absolutely in trouble. We've never been more in trouble than ever. But here we are. That's the state of the world. Everywhere you turn. You know, you're not going to find a 16-year-old girl working Macca's anymore for fucking $15. Nah. Why would I do that? I've got some boobs. I'll just take some pictures on OnlyFans and that's it. Earn thousands of dollars a week. And that to her is a great exchange. Losing character, losing your integrity, losing everything in life, your future, for a bit of money. What are you going to do with that money? I'll buy a handbag. I'll buy a brand new Beamer. I'll walk around through the club like I'm something special. Yes, you're an empty carcass, my friend. You have no soul. You've given your soul to the devil over some fucking dollars. And it's sad. It is absolutely atrocious. But we lack. That's what I mean. That's what I mean about the 60, 70-year-olds. We lack leaders in this society. We lack fathers. We lack mothers. Somebody said the other day, you know, when our generation grows up, we're not going to have that granny and grandpa. The granny's not going to know how to knit. She's going to be covered in tattoos from head to toe with big juicy lips, big fake boobs, and she's going to be sit there with completely tatted up and maybe shooting up drugs. That's going to be the grandma of our age. Our grandmas are not going to be knitting and looking after grandkids. No, man. Think about it. Our generation is fucked. Everyone's screwed up, man. Everyone's screwed up. You know, everyone's going to have fake boobs and fake butts. What the hell has happened to the world, man? And you're going to look at somebody like that and you're going to ask for a lesson. Somebody that's completely demolished their body and has no soul. We're in trouble, man. We're in trouble. And this social media is an absolute fucking poison. Because this very algorithm that I'm here, talking to you guys through, doesn't like to promote people like me about the right messages. Nah, dude, you get 5 views. The chick that's doing yoga in her G-string and promoting flexibility with all these fancy views of her body. Oh no, that is fitness. We're going to promote that because that's the message that we need. We need more pornography. We need more people taking stacks of TRT in the kitchen. I saw the other day some guy's got like 5 million views and all he does is promote being dumb. He's promoting being dumb and taking stupid amount of drugs and risking his life. Millions of views. Everyone's watching that. Right. And I have a son now that's turning 9, 10. He's like, Dad, what's he doing? Look at him. Why does he look so much different to you? The kid's like 18, 19 years old. What am I supposed to tell my son? Son, don't follow him. He's a bad influence. Why, Dad? Why is he a bad influence? And now none of these, I would have never voiced any of these things before kids. But now I have kids of my own. Some of these external issues are becoming my issues. Because I have a role. I have a bit of an influence. I don't have a lot of influence. And so every little opportunity that I have, I try to fight this tidal wave of retards who are completely lost in the world, trying to flood the rest of us with this huge power in social media. People that have had no mothers or fathers or upbringing, no culture, they are now going millions on social media, polluting us with this influence, trying to corrupt our youngsters. 20 years ago, how many people did you ever hear about of 16 years old being on steroids? It was unheard of. Now, it's like if you go to the gym, you don't even know how many people are natural anymore. That's the real travesty in all this shit. And now me being a dad, that's a fucking problem for me, man. It almost comes, I have a responsibility. Yeah, I get 1,000 views. Oh my God, Ivan, that is huge. That is massive. I don't care. I understand. I'm a tiny, tiny channel. But even if I talk to one freaking guy here, I want to make sure that you understand where I come from. I reject all that crap. And for a long, long time, I was not, and I still don't mention any names. I don't want to put anybody down. I'm not trying to put anybody down. I'm just trying to speak on issues as a whole. And it's up to you to work out who these people are and who they're not. But this is a fucking problem, dude. It is a big freaking problem. And sex has sold for thousands of years, and sex will continue to sell. And in the world of social media, this industry has never sold better because of the influence. Now we have prostitutes out earning NBA players. Think about this. Think about this. We have prostitutes online earning more than professional basketball players. And I understand basketball players should not be paid $50 million a year. But what about prostitutes? There are prostitutes out earning cardiac surgeons by 10x. 10x. Now you tell me what's wrong with society. How did we get to this point? And so when the 16-year-old boy jumps on trend, my friend, that is the least of your worries. That is just a side symptom of what's happening. Now you tell me what's caused all of this. Religion has plummeted. I don't even like religion. Spirituality has plummeted. People don't go to church. People don't go to mosques. People don't go to whatever religious gathering that you go to. So as this is done, and I'm not saying religion is perfect. It's by far not perfect. As we've nosedived in that sense, what's come up? What's come up? All the wrong things. It's a sad state of affairs, man. And unfortunately, the fitness industry is also a victim of all of that. And I don't know how many times in my DMs people ask me if I take steroids. Or, Ivan, what do you reckon, man? Like, what do you reckon, Ivan? You seem to be a well-adjusted person. I'll trust your opinion. Holy shit. No, but people don't ask me, hey, Ivan, and they do, but I'm just talking in relative sense. So many more comments are like, hey, Ivan, what do you think? Should I take steroids? What do you reckon? Blah, 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 blah. Fucking sick of it, dude. Why aren't you asking me, Ivan, what about lunges and split squats? What about blah, 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 that type of thing? Nah, it's like people are coming to me for like a well-adjusted opinion on steroids. And I know, what's happening out there just purely because even me, The anti-creatine, anti-protein fucking powder, anti-supplement guy. Even I'm getting steroid questions. Like, fucking hell, dude. What are we doing here? And now I gotta hit a 100 kilo bench, then I feel like shit. Imagine how wonderful this would be flying if I took a little bit of testosterone. Oh my goodness. Ivan, just take a bit of testosterone, bro. Your sickness will disappear in 30 minutes. Yeah, buddy. What are we doing? Just a little bit. Why are you making a big deal about it, Ivan? Jesi, snima me, samo da znaš. Nema problema, ti pičim, kako si ti? Ali sam slab, brate. Slab sam od kada sam se razbolio. I ti si najbolj par dana. Zvao sam te par dana da vidiš kako si.
O, najbolj.
Najbolj, pravo. Temperatura i sve, jel?
Ma jok, nije to, nego samo nos i oči. Fuck.
Glava bola, a?
Ma, to suze oči, to nos surit. Ne, fuck, disgusting. Ne mogu ništa, razumijem.
Ja sad, brale, ima 3-4 dana treniram. Ma slab sam, brale, sve sam i dobio.
Dobro.
Znaš kako te to iznervira, brate?
Ja sam isto. Znači, 2 dana.
Evo, još mi curi nos.
Ništa. Kupio sam onaj...
Ono što si pričao?
One...
Rope. Ja, nice. Išao Bunnings, jel?
Ja.
Imaš tego, da dam teg?
Ne, uzeo 2, ona moja.
Jel ima dosta?
I skinuo sam, prvo sam stavio, ono, bilo ima 5 kila, ona mala ručica, možda kilo i pol, znači 6,5.
O, imaš
to sam
dosta.
radio, ali mi uradim previše puta, 30 puta.
Možda ti dam kojim
Ne,
teg?
sad sam stavio 12, i onda radim sa 12, uradim
sad
7-8 puta.
I dovoljno.
daj to, Andrej, hajde.
Ti sad Aha.
To je vaše, je li to vaše četkice? Je. Jesam pogodio? Okej. Jeste se naspavali, Mici?
Zbili mi.
Ne, puno.
Ja, ti nisi bio, ti si ošao
A
van.
ona, pa, ja.
Ludile. Jesi mogao spavati?
Jesam.
Nisu zabavili.
Malo se smijali, zajebavali se, lazili i Milica je okej, ona ošla sa...
A, možda Ninov, je.
A njih dvojica malo se zajebavali, tam smijali se, pričali, ali okej.
Lazo, vidimo
Kako ste
se.
se probudili?
Budi dobar, Lazo, okej?
Okej.
Ajde, vidimo se. Dođi ovih dana fon trenirati.
Hoću, šta? A šta?
To je mikrofon. Slušaju nas sad svi.
Live sa Srbijom.
Da.
Te drugi ne razumiju.
Da, to je to, tako je.
Hoću doći, jel sutra radiš?
Noćnu radim, ne mogu sutra. Ne.
Kako što?
I 2 noći sad radim.
Pa okej, onda u četvrtak.
Četvrtak, petak, doći slobodno. Što je to?
Tamo sam bio u definiciji ušao,
If you hold it the other way, you'll see a chickpea.
Super. Super, bebo.
It's a chicken over here.
Stao na gledalesku, jebote.
Mrcina ispao, jel?
I premladi.
Onda ova kriza, jel?
Kako neće kada je tu?
Ajde, vidimo se. Ćao, Lazo. Ćao. Bit of an interruption there, fellas. How many of you guys understood all of that? How many guys stayed around? Wonder, let's see. Most people take off. I'm from UK, cameraman, face reveal. Nah, it's not the cameraman. This is my brother-in-law. Where are we? I reckon we're in a phase right now where society realizes and feels how spirituality dead this society is, and they're coming back to God. I hope they go back to God. Absolutely. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, so hopefully he joins me for some training sessions. He was also sick. He might have been bloody got it for me, man. But we'll see. We'll see if he recovers a little bit. All right, so fuck with the bench. The bench was shit. Bench was terrible. Can I put this over here? Would that make sense? I'll do some incline. And then, so weak, man. I'm terribly weak. It's not nice to feel terribly weak, but what do you do? Oh, where are we? What do I think of Tommy Robinson? I don't even know who Tommy is. You seem to have affected me through the stream the other day. I got sick as fuck. Oh, shit, Galcian. Sorry to hear, dude. Not sure of his natty status. Love him, Owen. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's very, very strong and he's been training for many, many years. If anyone's going to be able to do it, it's probably him. He's also built really well for the squat, man. Like he's like a piston, up and down, short femurs and all. 300 kilos, you think he dabbled in some kind of performance substance? I don't know. It's very hard to tell, like in weightlifters, in Olympic weightlifters, if they're on drugs or not, because they don't, like they're very much like strength orientated. It's not, they don't have size, they don't get lean, anything like that. I know he got a bit chubby when he did it, but whether he dabbled, I have no idea, man. He's a nice fella though. Very nice fella. All right, let me bust out some 60 kilos. You know, sometimes I think when I get into these little ruts of training where, you know, I get sick and I come back and I feel terrible. Sometimes I think, fuck it, just go through the motions, man. You know, this is where you get really, really tested with training, when you're feeling like shit and you still have to put forth some fucking effort. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. But, you know, what do you do? I'm thinking of learning Serb. I'll teach you something, man. Incline time. Let's go, man. Respect anyone that can do 4 plates on the incline. Extremely heavy weights. Oh, dude, I'll never be able to do that. If I get to 4 plates on flat, I'll be over the moon in the next 5 years, if I can even get there. On incline, never. I don't see that happening ever. Oh, man. Yeah, 4 plates it's a different world, man. Yeah, that's a different world of strength. On flat, he's 120, quite tall, and about 40 something. I mean, pretty impressive at that weight. Yeah, 120, he's a big boy. 120 kilos that's a unit. With all this training that I do, man, I'm always fighting my body. If I stop training altogether, I'll go down to 95 kilos. You know, in 2-3 week period, I think. It would just fall off me. I think my natural weight is like 90 kilos, even at 36 years old. I reckon that would be my baseline. And I have to work so freaking hard to maintain what I've got. Ugh. But you live and learn, man. All right. And doing incline after flat is very hard. How has your weight changed since the start of squat every day? I think when I started squatting every day, I was like 91, 92 kilos. And I stayed that way for quite a while. So in 5 years' time, I've added 12 kilos. Something like that. You know? Oh, man. I remember when 2 plates was a big deal. Now with all the social media nonsense has made it look too common that 2 plates on the bench is considered normal. Yeah, man. Definitely. It's a different world now, man. Oh. Ivan, in your own opinion, do you really think Sam Sulek can really make it past 35 plus on the amount of gear he's abusing? Before that, Bobby says, maintain what you got. That is a good way to put your style of training. Maintain every day. Sam Sulek. Yeah, I don't know, man. I've got grave concerns for him, man. But like many other people, I think he's heard all the noise. A lot of people are watching him, and I'm sure even people that with more medical knowledge and experience have made their opinion known, and it's up to him. You pick your poison, man. Whatever you want to do, you do it. To be honest, you can bench 2 plates without having much training. You could probably still do it now after basically a year break from the gym while dropping 20 food while the word from sickness. Yeah, after a bit of training, man, 2 plates becomes quite okay. But like with anything, it's very, very difficult to climb up. Maintaining is not that hard, man. It's clawing forward and up. That's the difficulty. How do you go from 2 plates to 3 plates? That is a journey of 5 years for some. Longer. Lots of fucking reps to get there. And then you still don't get there. Yeah. Oh, anyway. Let me try and get another set. All right. Oh. Yeah. Time we're done with bench. Let's warm up for squats now. Now that I've changed the layout of the building, alrighty. Let's load this thing up now. 45, 40. Oh, beautiful. Bloody beautiful. Three plates is actually pretty impressive, though doable but very hard. More noble standard, most teenage gym bros get to 2 plates pretty fast. The problem is capitalism. It's an inexorable crisis, and there is no way out by revolution. Discount that and catastrophe is assured. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know where the world goes next. But it seems like it's always some sort of war. That's the one bloody thing the humans have perfected. Killing. As nuts as that sounds. I don't understand how you can exercise when sick. My pulse always goes to 120 just from standing up from bed when sick. Dude, you just push on, man. No one's asking you to run a marathon. You do the best you can, and that's always been my approach. Okay, cool, no worries, you can't go hard. Fine, fucking don't. Just do as much as you can, and that's it. You know, my only thing is don't do nothing. Fucking do something, man. That's the story here. That's the story here. Patrick, man, what's happening? Ivan, your approach to bench and incline movement raw without any assistance is a lot more challenging. Thank you, Miz. Gotta get that mic fixed, man. I've got to blast my speakers every time you're live. Well, I don't know where to put it. How's this? This is really loud, isn't it? I don't know where to put it without me breathing into the bloody microphone. I don't know what else to fucking do. You know, I've gone on the app, I've turned it on as the best I can. I don't know. I can't put the microphone in my mouth. Oh, Patrick. So, Patrick, you happy now? Is it good? I know I've gone back on some of the older lives, And they were trash, but all right. I think Patrick's happy. He's turned his thing up. Oh, sick, Patrick. Glad to hear it, man. All right. Let me bang out a couple of these sets. Oh, fuck. And now it's starting to really stretch. After the second set of these, I really start feeling the groin fighting for its life. Oh. I think microphones should be implanted into your vocal tract with wireless charging through the skin. Yeah, man. Plug them in. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Oh, well, let me get the third set. I want to get 5 sets. Today was supposed to be not even a bench day. It's supposed to be a heavy on the adductors day and squat. And then abductor. But I got carried away with the bench feeling shit. I wanted to attack it. So this is like the best fucking machine if you want to stretch your adductors. You're not only stretching them, but you're also contracting them. It is absolutely goated, in my opinion. If I had any chance of getting into a personal training world, I would definitely sign up. Ms., I don't know how personal training online and programs, is that what you mean? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of training like that, giving somebody something that is soulless and just bland on paper, do this, do that, do this. What I would like to do is like train with the ability to like literally see you and talk to you, and you tell me, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that, this is what is going on, and so like adjusting on the fly. That's where I would feel very happy to get involved in somebody's training. But like telling somebody to do 5 sets of 20 and just fucking like, what is that? I don't know how you feel. I don't know what the reps in reserve is on that exercise. I don't know anything. It's tough. I never saw this exercise with legs straight. Does it hit differently? It does, yeah, it does. It's much tougher on the adductors because one of the adductors inserts into the underneath the knee, and so having legs straight puts that muscle on blast as well. So, yeah. Yeah, it definitely hits differently. I like personal trainers though. I haven't done it myself. I've seen PT friends doing it that way, and just the connection with the clients is amazing to see. Online PDs or whatever they do. PT is not for everyone. I have extreme external rotation, basically no internal rotation in my hips. Do you have a take on this? I physical therapist said it should be the same, but also wasn't concerned. Oh, dude. Just because somebody's a physio doesn't mean they know much about training, dude. It's not a concern to have zero internal rotation of the hip. Fucking hell. All right. So basically, don't worry about it because I don't know how to fix it type shit. Okay, so I've looked into this a lot and I've read about it a lot and I've experienced it a lot. If you want to have athleticism, it is far more important for you to have internal hip rotation than external hip rotation. Most gym exercises that we do in the gym that are in the sagittal plane, as in bilateral, as in standing on 2 feet, RDLs, deadlifts, squats, whatever, overhead press, all that stuff, like where you have 2 feet on the ground next to each other. All of that stuff favors the external rotation. You get literally no internal rotation. And so if you were inclined like an athlete and you want to perform, run, sprint, jump, all that sort of stuff, hip internal rotation is not just important, but it is absolutely a priority. And if you don't have any hip internal rotation, you are not even accessing some of the musculature that will propel you on the physical platform. And so having zero hip internal rotation is absolutely critical to fix. How do you fix it? One of the simplest things, without even knowing much about physical movement in general, is just to do single leg stuff. Start doing walking lunges. Do that, stop everything else, and you will see over the course of days and weeks and months, you will start to see more and more hip internal rotation. Walking lunges are brilliant for that. In fact, anything with one leg where the other one is most likely fixed to something, so you have that internal rotation, you have that rooting of one side while the other one is kind of having to internally rotate, that's the best way to do it. And so most people in the gym, including me, we lack internal rotation of the hip, and that hurts us. Hurts us a lot. And so if you go from the gym to a basketball court or soccer, you might feel slow. You might feel sluggish, like you're not athletic. It's probably because your hip internal rotation is really, really bad. If you see some of the NBA players, some of the NFL players, you see that they have an abundance of hip internal rotation. So much so that they've got those pigeon toes, pigeon feet, where their feet are like internally rotated, even so they have extreme amounts. Now that type of posture, that type of gait, also runs a huge risk of ACL injuries. And so some people need to go the other way. Some people need to work on the external rotators in order for them to revert back into some sort of balance. But like you, I have like 5-10 degrees of hip internal rotation and like 30-40 external rotation. That tells you everything what you've been doing. Most likely you and I haven't been doing a lot of single leg stuff, and I would say I agree with that. Alrighty. That's a nice little warm-up, 5 of those. Let's go over here now. Let's say hi to the squat gods. Boys, let's get after it now. Alrighty. All right. All right, fellas. Ivan, in your line of work, how common is type 2 diabetes? Many of my family have it. Simply to fix it is just exercise. Yeah, type 2 diabetes is very much treatable and reversible, depending on how quickly you catch it. But yeah, exercise and just proper nutrition and stopping snacking and insulin spiking goes a long freaking way. If you just drop your body fat, that goes a long way. So absolutely, weight loss and exercise, moving, and just fixing your diet up, man. People are too big. I'll try that. Thanks. I like how the timing of this stream is so that most watching are unemployed, regardless if they are in Europe or in America. Or home from work. That's funny, Calcium. Yeah, man. Australia has its way. Right now here it's like 6 p.m. Is it 6 p.m.? What is it? Yeah, almost 7 p.m. Shit, time flies. Oh, Lordy Lord. Go to 3 plates. Oh, 3-plate action, baby. Kelsey says, haha, it's 2 a.m. here in Canada right now. And I also stop by his lives before bed usually or doing homework. which I'm doing right now. Also a good time here. Working while watching a stream. Greg, man, what's happening, brother? Good to see you here. What's good, Ivan? Was wondering if you knew the advantages to training both straight leg and bend leg, hip adduction and abduction. I currently do both, but was wondering if one style is better overall. I've tried both, man. I mean, I've only got these machines recently. Before that, I don't think I've ever tried the straight legs. And originally, when I bought them, I was like, oh fuck, like, is that going to be better or whatever? Obviously, beggars can't be choosers, and I just picked whatever was available. You know what I mean? An abduction is an abduction, regardless of straight or bent leg. But I do feel like this is a little bit better. If you only have access to the bent leg, shit, I would do that as well. I don't think the differences are humongous. Although in the adduction, I feel like the straight leg incorporates a little bit more of the adductors, because some of the adductors cross the knee joint, and when you have straight legs, you engage them a little bit more because they are now stretched and ready to use, ready to be fired. So maybe you get a bit more adductors. Abductors, I don't know. Maybe the same. I don't know. This feels great. I must say, it feels great. It's my first day of vacation, so it's perfect timing. There you go, man. U2 says 4 p.m. from Thailand, 10 a.m. here in the UK. 3-plate RPE. Oh, goodness. No idea, dude. I don't know. 15, 20 probably I could get if I went absolutely nuts. Something like that. I don't know. Yeah, bro, I'm definitely lucky that I can play it in the background. I tried the abductor warm-up before squats. Yeah, totally smooth. It's like I can feel the electrical signals fired in my glutes now. There you go. Yeah, I think the glutes in anything, man. I even had one time I did, just for like shits and giggles, I did some abduction work before bench press, and even the bench press felt better. I think glutes, man, glutes are like this critical point in the human body that if you have the glutes firing, the whole freaking nervous system fires well. It's like such a pivotal, it's like the center of our being. It's the biggest joint, it's the sturdiest joint. And when the biggest muscle in that joint fires up, you just feel poppy, like, you know, that term that I always say, you feel poppy, like you're gonna pop, jump, sprint really fast, athletic. Definitely feels like that to me. All right, let's go 160. Alrighty. Smart Cellini says, "Hi Vine, haven't you seen the gym in a while? Don't you miss the wide variety of machines?" No, I haven't been in the gym for a while, probably since January. Since the kids went to school, the routine changed, a lot less time available. And so 30 minutes in, 30 minutes out is too much time to just delete off a day from just like parking the car, getting in there, finding machines, waiting for machines and all that shit. Fuck that. So that's kind of the biggest turn off. If I was a full-time YouTuber, I'll probably gym surf, try all sorts of stuff, blah, 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 blah. In terms of that aspect, for sure, it would be nice to have a variety. But with gyms also comes the other stuff that I just mentioned. But what I like about home is the peace and quiet, access, thoughts, access to my equipment, obviously the thoughts that come with the peace. And now that I have this gym equipment in this other section now, I feel like I have everything that I need, and I can just play around with that, experiment. I don't think I need much more, to be honest. I'm very happy here. Obviously, I miss some of the fellas at the gym that I used to chat with and discuss training with. We used to have some amazing chats and bounce ideas. But to be honest with you, since like doing these lives, I kind of have that sorted. I feel like the boys that are on the chat now, like I get that. Like it's really, really cool. Like some of these names that you guys are seeing in the chat, like Greg Danish, Sam I've seen a few times, Miz definitely, Ram has been, in and out as well. Calcium, like a lot of these boys, even though nobody's called Calcium, I don't know these fellas like I do some of the boys in the gym. I still get my fix of this camaraderie and community. I get that fix from these lives, which I do the lives. The lives are terrible for the channel. I've given up on the whole aspect of all of that. I just don't give a shit anymore. I do what feels right, and I do what I like to do, and this feels amazing, And now I chop up the videos as well now for the people that don't like the lives. And a lot of people said to me, "I don't like the lives, Ivan, it's too big, too long." Cool, I get it. But yeah, the boys in the chat have kind of given me that feeling like I don't really need to do gymming anymore for that aspect, for the social aspect at all. You know what I mean? And when you go to the gym, you're not promised you're going to see your favorite boys anyway. Sometimes I go, for such a long time without seeing some of my fellas, And to be honest with you, like some of the boys that I used to chat with at the gym, like 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago, I'm not at the gym anymore. Like they've moved on. Some of these boys have left university and they've gotten a job and they've just moved on and they don't really train much. And I've seen people come and go, which is interesting because I'm crazy about this shit more than ever. But a lot of people they'll train during uni days and whatever, and then they meet a girlfriend and then boom, they're out. Girlfriend dumps them, they leave the girlfriend, they're back at the gym and they'll stay at the gym for a little while and I'll see them again. Boom, they find another girl, off they go again, and see them for months on end. And so there's a lot of people in the general gym community who are just, they do gym because they don't know, they have an empty schedule, that kind of shit. Whereas, I've got 3 kids, I work at the hospital all the time and everything that comes with being a family man and the rest of it, and I still find time. So, yeah, I don't know. Everyone just comes and goes and moves around. For me, this is a constant, always. I love this. Hopefully my kids love this, and that can be my camaraderie in the flesh. My children, my best mates don't give a shit about this. I don't get that with them. I've had my cameraman chill with me here. He'll bring his iPad and he'll work or, whatever. And literally sit in the fucking gym and not do any weights. That's kind of cool. But now he's gotten busy with kids and family and stuff. And so I don't even get that with him. And so I don't really train with anyone. Like my brother-in-law, you saw him earlier. He popped in. He was on the freaking live, basically. He's kind of joined me recently as well. He might join me in some of these lives. I don't know if he's going to feel comfortable being on camera or not. But yeah, for the most part, I'm a loner. I'm a loner when it comes to training. And that loner aspect is really cool because my work is hectic. I work with 1 million people. I work 1 million patients. It's full on all the time. And so this is kind of like a nice palate cleanser for me to be alone, peace and quiet, even though I can hear my youngest crying in the house right now. So yeah, it kind of works for me, man. But like everyone's got their own thing, you know. Some people like the whoa, lights flashing and all that shit. You know, I remember when I was in that period as well. Now I don't want that. I get plenty of that, you know, where I work and a young family and whatever. So like when I come here, this here, oh fuck, that's beautiful. That is the most beautiful music ever created. Anyway, let me try to do 180. See what I can do with this shit. Alrighty. Plenty, mate. Bloody beautiful. Oh. Now, let's get on the accessories. All right, boys, let's go to the next station of training, eh? All right. Now, is this good? Is this good? Probably won't even see me there. Let's go this way. I want to have you guys ride in my bloody underwear. Bad position. I'm about to bloody spread my legs on camera. Not the greatest bloody look. Alrighty, boys. There we go. Now, I'm going to push this shit hard. So, let's start with 40. Set of 20 with this. And then we'll get busy with it. Get busy with it. Four plates looking smooth. Patrick. Personally, I don't really weight train anymore. I mean, more of a daily training thing with a lot of body weight and biking, running, swimming, but I'll always switch it up. Yeah, you chose me, not the other way around. Fuck yeah, what a line. You need someone to rack and unrack your weights. Maybe one day. Yeah, Chris, maybe one day. Maybe my son will do the work. Danish, I think people find it a good distraction, as in the people who have no sense of purpose. So they think the gym is a good place to go. That's why people come and go. Also, they probably never mastered SBD. Yeah, they never fell in love with it. I also always come back to your videos because of how you hold yourself in your personal life along with the hard training that you do. He's definitely inspiration, man. I appreciate that, Patrick. You know, that means a lot to me when I hear that. What's a comment limit? What is that? What is a comment limit? So you can't comment after a certain number of words, or what? Ukaka Domin says, "Hey Van, loved your videos on masculinity. It gave me and my wife a good chuckle. Also showed her the video about your nursing position and how you go about your day there. She wanted to know how. Maybe people show up to the emergency room fit and in good health overall. Many people show up to the emergency room fit and in good health overall. Hey, that's really cool. I enjoyed that you, you enjoyed it. I seem to have gotten a lot of negativity in the comments that I saw about that video, about my take on masculinity. That's my honest opinion. That's what I think. I'm not saying that I'm a professor in sociology or philosophy, but that is my interpretation of what I see and what I feel. And I meant what I said. And you know, there's many ways you can articulate your thoughts, and you know, I tried my best. Some people took it in a wrong direction that I didn't mean it to go in terms of that thought. But like, you know, one thing that I learned is that, you know, you can read one book 10 times and get 10 different lessons from it. And so you can show one video to 10 different people and they'll have 10 different outcomes. But one thing that I've learned for sure is that you have to stay true to yourself. And the longer that you hide behind this veil of what you think is going to be appreciated and what's going to be right or whatever, the longer it kind of eats you up. And sure, people walk the planet all the time with, you know, this idea of not trying to ruffle any feathers or whatever. For me, the things that I feel passionate about, I speak on. And the fact that 2/3 of the Western world is obese or overweight, to me, that's an alarm. I'm in a space that I have a little bit of influence on people, and I tried my best to influence in the right direction. And this idea of fat shaming and this idea that you're not allowed to tell anybody the truth that you feel deep inside your chest really bothers me, especially when that truth needs to be said for the sake of their health. Obviously, there's many different philosophies on how you approach different problems. Knocking down the front door of a castle is not the only strategy to employ. I grew up in a family in a civil war. My dad was in the war, and the culture that I was brought up in is that you copped criticism face straight. This idea of putting people in cotton wool and running around issues and saying it's okay for you to be 400 fucking pounds is something that is ridiculous to me. It is ridiculous to me, and I will always say it's ridiculous. If I love you like a brother or a sister, it is my duty to tell you when you go wrong. And if I don't do that for you, I am hurting you. I am not being a good friend, a good brother, or a good acquaintance, or whatever you want to name that. And so I try to be brutally honest for the people that I care. And obviously, it's not the right thing to say to every single person that you come into contact with. You notice in that video, I didn't tell anybody and I didn't identify anybody. I'm just telling you in general. When I go around and I see a lot of people overweight, I'm like, how is this possible? How can I be in a party where there is 80% of the people in this party, in this function, whatever gathering that I'm at, and these are the people that are not in my immediate circle? How is it that 80% have some sort of metabolic condition? They're overweight. With that, I know they're on a spectrum of diabetes. Whether they're diagnosed or not, you cannot have a truck tire around your belly for like a whole fat belly, and your weight, you know, your BMI is 50. You can't tell me you don't have diabetes. You have some sort of metabolic condition. And these same people are going to say, how dare you call me out on some of this stuff? Something needs to be had. I think people back in the in the 50s and the 60s and even the 40s, there was a lot more directness. Now with this woke culture, everyone's too sensitive to hear anything. Any criticism, boom, HR, straight away, boom, 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 call the cops. This guy said to me I was overweight. You can't shame anyone. You can't tell anybody anything. And so this is part of the problem that I said before about the world going in the wrong direction. It is alarming to me. It is really, really alarming to me. And, you know, people are now saying, what's it called? You know, there's a culture of accepting fat. So fat shaming is a problem. We should all start to accept these overweight people and just say, yeah, no worries, that's fine. Keep going, darling. Have another cake. Have another cake. I'll come to your funeral when you're 45 years old. And that's care. We're showing care by doing that. As I said before, not every problem needs to be attacked with aggression. I realize that. And I'm not somebody that just runs around people in the street shaming them. That's not me. Like I said, I never identified anybody in the video, but I'm trying to be honest of how I feel when I see this stuff. And it is absolutely infuriating that the general populace has deteriorated that much. And yet still, we can't have honest conversations about this problem. You know, the first step with all of these problems is to freaking talk about, identify it. No, you can't talk about somebody's weight. It is absolutely absurd to me. Absolutely absurd. But here we are, in this woke culture we live in. All right, let me crank out a quick warm-up here. All right, last time I did 68, let's go 73. My Lord, this is going to bloody be interesting. Louis, what's up? I went home and had a nap. Those cabbage rolls are giving you superhuman energy. Oh, Lou, I'm still going on those cabbage rolls, I'll tell you. Still going. My biggest mission after earlies is not to go home and nap. I remember doing this. It feels so good to nap after an early. Even if you get 20, 30 minutes, it's the best. That's why when I get home, I try not to sit down because I'm out like a light. Yeah, the comment limit is kind of, I didn't even know about this comment limit, certain number of words, it sucks. Did you quit barefoot shoes? During winter calcium, absolutely. I was getting freaking frozen feet. Can't do that. Greg says Jesus didn't come down to tell comfortable lies. He told the harsh truth no matter who it offended because it was the truth. The truth hurts to a lot of people, but when accepted, it's very freeing. Yeah, I agree with that. Are you allowed to say that to people at the hospital or will the report? Nah, Christopher, I would never say that to somebody at work. Like I said to you, I don't say this to people. I'm just giving you a general commentary about the world we live in. I would never walk up to somebody and say, you are fat. Like, come on, man, I'm not a monster. If I have some sort of proximity with somebody and I'm friends with somebody and they ask me about something, I would give them my truth, obviously not in that sense. I would say, mate, I think you're really, really overweight and I'm worried about you. If you need a hand with, cleaning up your nutrition or training, or even if you want to join me at the gym, more than happy. I'm part of the solution, not the problem. Obviously, the people that are close to me, they always know that I'm a resource when it comes to training. I'm not out here to shame people. That is, I want everyone to be healthier. Because think about it, I work in emergency. I'm not out here to nurse more people that are, obese. I'm not interested in that. I want people to be healthier. I generally want people to be healthier. So I would never do that, Chris. Greg says, Ivan is spot on, being woke and accepting literally anything, actually the most harmful and hateful thing you can do to someone. Expose them to the harsh truth and let them decide for themselves. Ivan, I never understood. I agree with you, Greg. Ivan, I never understood people. Hey, what's that?
I'm looking for the green groove.
Ooh, I don't know. Check in the cupboard in the laundry.
Oh, it's fine here.
Huh?
It's right here.
I never understood people justifying diet or zero sugar drinks rather than just drinking water. Isn't it more dangerous drinking the chemicals regardless of if it's 0 calories or not? Or is it just me? I agree with you. Drink. What's wrong with water? What is wrong with water? Ivan, I have many friends in my circle I know of age between 30 and 35. They have aged horribly with grey hair, wrinkles, looking at you squat every day. I can see you kept younger looking youth. There you go, Ms. I think the common denominator here will always be moving. You need to freaking move. The moment we stop, we are screwed. You need to move. Even if the diet is terrible, movement is the most important thing. And I've definitely seen people in my lifetime, and it is absolutely astonishing to see. I've played basketball with people like in Division 1 level junior basketball who are fat, let's say fat, overweight, and absolute athletes. These people are, I feel like these people should be studied. You know those chubby dudes? They've got like this fat layer around them everywhere. They don't have any muscle definition, but they run all day. And you're like, this man is an athlete. This man is an athlete. He doesn't look it, but he can outrun me. It is unbelievable. And so that is maybe somebody that consumes the wrong foods, maybe too many carbohydrates. I don't know what's going on there. Just overeats for the exercise that he does, but he does still enough exercise to have a cardiovascular fitness about him. His VO2 max is pretty good. He's just carrying this like extra layer of energy. Nikola Jokic comes to mind for me. Nikola Jokic is that guy. Everyone's like, oh, he's unfit. He ain't fucking unfit. He's playing 40 minutes a night, dropping 30, 20, and 15 most bloody games, right? That is not unfit. He's a fit man. He just doesn't have that leanness about him. But he's the best player in the world. That man is not unfit, right? He is a 7 fucking footer that weighs probably 140 kilos, and he moves. He can run up and down. He's a point guard for the Nuggets. So there are people like that, and so they always stress movement. Don't give me this shit about, oh, I'll just take my protein drinks and continue to sit on my ass. No, get up, up, move. Even if you continue to eat trash, move. I want you to move. I always prioritize that. You know, it's not about just being that skinny fat look. Oh yeah, I've stopped fucking eating food, and now I'm this chubby skeleton. You know, I've got this fat layer on top of me. I still don't move, so I don't have muscular mass. My metabolic rate hasn't increased because my muscle mass hasn't increased. So I'm just carrying this like weight around, but I'm not actually strong. I can't run, I can't jump, I can't lift, I can't do anything. Don't be that. Anyway, I've avoided this for too long. 73, let's go. Oh. Fucking hell, this is like a full body workout. Felt my erectors there. Well, Yeltsin says, all right, Ivan, got to catch this flight. I'll catch you. Appreciate you, Yeltsin. All the best, my man. Alfonso says, in my ATG squat, when my hamstrings squeeze the calf, my calf muscle hurts. Did it ever happen to you? Never. I've heard a few people mention this, but I never have troubles with my calves. I've never had that, so I can't really comment much on it, man. I can make some educated guesses about what's going on. I don't know how much dorsiflexion you have. Maybe you're relying too much on dorsiflexion. Maybe don't use as much dorsiflexion. I just don't know much about the people that experience this. But I'd love to see a video of how you squat. Danish says, I think it's more that fat shaming gets bundled with bullying. I think bullying is the cause. I think be direct and telling some girl in high school she is fat as fuck is the difference. Oh no, Danish. So this is the thing. There is a difference between going, you are fat, versus saying to somebody, obviously the approach is everything, right? Saying to somebody in a different circumstance, not in a hallway full of people, you say to them, if you have that relationship with them, like I don't have a relationship with every bloody person that I see in my life, but if you have a relationship with them and they come up to you and they're like, hey, Ivan, training, this, that, the other diet, open up to them, offer them everything and say, look, my friend, I think you are very overweight and I'm very concerned about you. I think your quality of life will go through the roof in terms of how much you enjoy life if you just shave off some of this weight. I can help you. That is not bullying. That is offering some assistance. And everyone in my life that I've had this chat to have been very well receptive, you know, very well receptive. And I've voiced it many times at work. And I say, like, I think it's unacceptable that a 20 to 30-year-old man can't do a single push-up. That is an alarming trend for me. I'm not asking you to bench 3 plates. I'm not asking you to do that. One single push-up? Dude, I'm not even asking you to do anything athletic, dude. This is a basic function. And so you don't shame people. Like a lot of people that saw my video, they're like, oh, you're shaming. I'm not trying to shame. I'm coming from a sense of help. I think it is a red flag for anybody that listens to that video and says, screw that guy, you know, that guy's evil. No, it is a called, what's it called? A call for a reaction. It's a call for, I forget the term, call to action. That's what that is, you know. How is it that when I go to these school gatherings for kids, birthday parties, I look around and I'm like, everyone's overweight? That is a problem, dude. And I'm in this industry or fitness industry, and it's like, imagine being a doctor and not saying to somebody that you should quit smoking. What is the difference between that? If I'm a doctor and I walk into an environment where everyone is smoking and you keep your mouth shut, are you a good doctor? Are you a good practitioner of your genre? If you don't say anything about somebody that's around you who is clearly killing themselves. Your role is to say, I don't think this is good for you. If I see everybody overweight with a tire around their belly, and I don't say anything about, you can't say that, Ivan. So we're accepting. Maybe they don't have anybody in their life that's going to say something to them. I'm not saying you point a finger and you laugh at them. I'm not saying that. I'm simply saying, offering them guidance, to saying to them, oh, but Ivan, they know that. Really? They know that? Maybe they miss some vital information. I don't know. I think it should be discussed. All of these issues should be discussed. Just like mental health. Mental health should be discussed on the forefront. Why are we hiding about mental health? Like nobody's affected by mental health, yet suicide goes through the roof. Especially in men, something like 80% of all suicides are men. We don't talk about it. Or you can't say that. You can't say somebody's depressed. You can't, really? So we're going to put this shit under the bed, under the carpet. We're not going to talk about it. I don't understand why being obese and overweight is so acceptable right now. All these woke people, my question is to you, why is it so acceptable? I don't understand. It is literally a bad thing. Something like 80 to 85% of all medical conditions are metabolic in nature. From cardiovascular to diabetes to liver, like all of this stuff is essentially eating too much food. You have a fatty liver, then it becomes cirrhosis, then you have liver failure, then you have ascites, then you have to begin to drain, and then the kidneys fail, then the heart fails, everything's failing. You can always link back to like some sort of glycation issue. Dementia. There's a lot of it now that's vascular dementia. What's vascular dementia? Oh, the blood pressure is too high. Why is it too high? Oh my God, you're eating too much food and too much glucose. The kidneys are failing, everything's failing. Most of this shit comes down to eating too much food and not enough activity. If you trace back a lot of these conditions, they're metabolic conditions. Yet I can't say to somebody, my friend, you're eating too much food, this is not really good for you. In a benevolent way, like you're trying to help. Bullying, HR, this is wrong. Really? Really? So when you see somebody that is 400 pounds sitting in McDonald's with 16 freaking burgers and 65 liters of Coke, sucking that shit down, you're supposed to sit there and be like, yeah, good on you, mate. Yeah, no worries. Have a good day. Wouldn't it be more beneficial to walk up to that person and be like, hey, my friend, darling, I mean this from the absolute most beneficial way. I really think you shouldn't be eating this food. It is very bad for you. And she says, fuck off, you fucking dog, blah, blah. Turn around and go. But you've at least tried to help somebody. Be that one single voice in that person's life to be like, my friend, this is very bad for you. Please don't do this. You know, when you see a drug addict on the side of the street, you're like, mate, you shouldn't be doing this. Dude, why are you harassing me, dude? Why I'm going to call the cops, bro. Like, why are you abusing me? Why are you bullying me? Really? Really? This is the state of society. In the West, mind you, this is only in the West. In the East, from where I come from, in Serbia and like the eastern part of Europe, fat shaming is not only acceptable, but is definitely what's happening. It is so acceptable to fat shame. I'm not saying that we want to do that here. No. But people are shamed into being in good shape. Right? That's the cultural difference. You know, it is so acceptable to point out somebody's weight because it is not good for them. You know, obviously I come from a much different world and it's extreme over there. It's extreme. But for all these people that are woke and whatever, you just need to turn the page and look at the other parts of the world and be like, okay, how come in the East, 80% of the population is not overweight and obese? Maybe the way they approach this problem is a little bit different. But you know, I get criticized for saying something like, I think it's ludicrous that everyone that I see in here, in all the parents in this birthday party are overweight. And we're sucking down cakes and cordials and Cokes like there's nobody. And nobody's going to say, guys, can somebody drink some freaking water here? You're all morbidly obese. Why are we drinking Coke, man? Is no one going to say that? That to me irritates me. Why the fuck are you drinking Coke, my friend? You are 1 foot in the grave and you're sucking that cheesecake down and you're sucking that Coke down and it's bothering me. It is literally bothering me. Same with smoking. I hate when people smoke. You are smoking in the 21st century. What the fuck are you doing, dude? The information is readily available out there. Smoking is absolute trash. So if I say to my mom, I really think you should be stopping smoking. Bullying, abuse, call the cops, Ivan off to jail. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Like I said to you before, the West is going down the toilet. And all of these people, these minority groups who are making these damn rules, these woke people, they are ruining us, man. The West has never been in a poorer state in its history of existence on many different metrics. I'm not saying the East is a bright side either, but there seems to be the pendulum has swung too far, man. At least from the perspective of weight, something's really bad. You know, have breakfast, have second breakfast, have a snack, eat. You know, I see all the time, like some of my kids, you know, they have school, straight after school we have a game, 4 o'clock, they finish at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock they have a game. And between 3 and 4 o'clock, the parents take them to Macca's to eat. So they're walking into a basketball session, basketball match, and I'm the coach, and they've got a bag of fries they're eating. Nobody has died of hunger, of hunger in 3 hours between meals. I don't care if you are 7 years old or 197 years old. 3 hours of fasting is perfectly acceptable for any child of any age. It's fine. But no, we need to feed the kid. Make sure that insulin spikes nice and high. Oh my God, filthy. Patrick, if she doesn't appreciate me ruthlessly telling her the truth. Regardless, movement is medicine, absolutely. But because it significantly improves physical, mental. Absolutely, Miz. They literally have in Thailand. They literally have stores called Piggy or Fat Girls for big women. Wow, oh shit. Oh, fat girls for big women. Wow, dude. There you go, and that's that Eastern type of world. It is fat shaming to the max. And what is the net positive here? Is there a net positive here? It's like a scaring people away from sucking down those macas. There's like a fear. Oh my God, if I eat that, I might get fat and people will laugh at me. No. In Australia, if you get really, really fat, people go in jail if they say, mate, what is this? Why are you so big? So we accept it. I don't know what the solution is. Obviously, mental health is lined very closely with all of this. You don't want to traumatize people. You don't want to be rude. That's why I say delivery and approach is everything with this sort of stuff. You need to be sensitive with people, but still get the message across. Bullying is an absolute big factor in people's lives. You definitely don't want to do that. I'm not condoning bullying by any stretch of the imagination. But I think people being overweight is a serious, serious problem. And we cannot accept that as a society. We cannot accept that. And for us that are in love with this shit, with training, like literally it's a passion of mine, I think we have a responsibility to be a voice of reason and to try and dumb some of this down, all these fancy, crazy machines, and just like offer your assistance. And delivery is everything. Do it in a benevolent way. Do it in a non-harmful way. There's a way of delivering the same message in a gentle way. Obviously, that video from yesterday or the day before, I don't talk to people like that. I would never say anything like that, but like I'm just expressing my emotional response to what I'm seeing. I would never direct it to one individual person like that. But I find it absolutely ludicrous that everyone is overweight. Like, what the hell is going on? Patrick says, mental health is definitely at the center. Most people won't stop harming behavior without asking for and wanting help and getting guidance. I remember a while ago you talked about buying a belt squat machine. Did you ever end up getting one? Haven't seen your recent videos is all. Yeah, I've got one. It's sitting over there. Definitely have a belt squat machine, eh? It's good. I gave it a good go. But still, I don't think it's the right tool for me, you know. Maybe one day when I clean up my hips, it will be better. It's very quad dominant, and I think I need more hips. And that thing doesn't make you go into your weaknesses. It just facilitates more of your strengths. So I still stick in the same pattern of movement, which is butt back and straight chin type of squat. Oh my God. I've got 2 more of those. And then finish over the adductors. I'll say this as someone from Japan, which I think is on the opposite spectrum of this, which people needing to be unhealthy skinny, where girls who are 140, 150 centimeters have to strive to 40, 45 kilos. Wow. I mean, 140 centimeters is tiny. You know, that's a tiny person. And 40, 45, I mean, that's small. As controversial as this may sound, bullying is sometimes a good thing in the right context. All of my leveling up in life, inside the gym and outside, came from bullies, and it allows me to reflect. I don't think bullying is like, ha ha, you're fat, blah, blah, blah. I don't think that's the way to go, although that is probably the most potent way to induce an emotional response. And these emotional responses that you get are huge fuel. That is amazing fuel. If somebody says to you, you are weak and tiny, blah, 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 it makes you really, really upset. The chances of you using that energy for good is probably very high. And so in that sense, you know, it makes sense. But if you look like in nature, you know, if you're not good enough, you die. Like, there's competition. But here in the Western world, and I guess in the world in general, you know, we put people in cotton wool. It's okay for you to be, you know, a bad performer. It's okay for you to be, you know, it's okay for you not to try, you know. Don't even try. And I guess that's the real bottom of all of this, is that people don't even try to do the right thing. There's no effort. If you see somebody that is grossly overweight and smoking to top it all off, that is an individual that does not care anymore. There is no effort there whatsoever. And I'm not saying you need to be an absolute athlete, but some fucking effort, man. Since when has it been okay for you to do no exercise? We cannot normalize that, man. That cannot be a normal thing for society. It's just the wrong thing, man. I think that's also insane and is societal, social media, mental problem. Miz, thank you so much for the support. Thank you, man. Anger is a great motivator, is a greater motivator than sadness, it seems, in today's reality. Yeah, well, you know what they say, hate and love are pretty much the same emotion in terms of intensity, which is interesting in itself. I guess the question here is, when somebody receives negative criticism, what causes one person to act and the other one just to retreat into their shell and just wallow in their sadness? What is the differentiator there? You know, which then comes back to the whole idea of, you know, attacking every castle through the front door, knocking it down and you know, attacking that strategy might not be the best strategy in every situation. Sometimes you need to kind of go around the flank and be more, you know, recon type thing. Sometimes you need a different approach in different situations. So maybe some people need a different, softer approach. But to say that everybody in the world needs a recon mission to get somebody to get off their ass and do some exercise, what are we doing as a society, man? How can everyone be that sensitive, man? What has happened to society that we're so soft? Nobody can hear the truth. Nobody can have an honest conversation with anyone. Where have we gone, man? What's happened to the world, man? You know, something might do something wrong in a workplace and you can't even tell them off because of fear of they're going to say, oh, he's bullying me. So if I tell you off, you've done something wrong, is that bullying? It's getting ridiculous, man. Like, what the hell are we doing? How can everything be bullying? Just because I tell you off, I say that is, you've screwed up and you need to know about it and you need to fix it. Is that bullying? No, bullying becomes when it's unreasonable, demeaning, belittling, you know, words and conversation. You know, get the message across and move on. That to me is not bullying. But in this day and age, everything's freaking bullying. The age that I grew up in, dude, not only were you told that you screwed up, but you got a slap across the head, across the face. My dad used to say to me, like, go in the garden and get a stick so I can, you know, punish you for this ill decision. Could you imagine right now slapping a kid in public? You go to jail. The world's in trouble. I told you at the start of the stream, man, the world's in a lot of trouble, man. I mean, I don't hit my kids. I'm not saying that I bash the shit out of my kids. But what has happened in the last 20 years? The way my parents, I turned out all right. The way my parents raised me is now a criminal offense in court. In court. And now you have these, you know, 16, 15-year-olds doing meth. My friend, if I tried meth when I was a kid and my dad caught me, he probably would have broken my spine. I had fear of not disappointing my father. Kids nowadays don't give a shit about their parents. They call the cops on their parents. Yeah, what's up with that? I'm your parent. Something is wrong, man. This is fucking killing me, this shit. All right, one more set and we'll move on. At this point, it comes down to people enjoying. Yeah, last one, Ivan, appreciate the lives. Not only you, beast in the weight room, be also a beast on all other aspects of life. Thank you, Ms. Always appreciate you, brother. Always appreciate your support and your conversation and the chats that we have. Sounds like a lot of people in this chat have a similar opinion. You know, some of us might not have the answers. I mean, I'm not telling you I've got an answer. All I'm saying is that a lot of this stuff is concerning. See you, Greg. All the best, my man. You have a good one. Little guy's very angry. Angry little guy. I think it's time for a nap. It's time for sleep. I'm gonna, as the worst bit about training is I constantly have pressure in my mind to get back in the house and be with the fam. That's probably the only negative thing when it comes to training, is that there's always that pull to go inside. And so, you know, oh, fuck off. All right, ladies and gentlemen, all right, now go nuts on this for a few sets. And Bob's your uncle, as they say. All right. Let's go. So what did I do over here? Try even it out somehow. So this was 73. 73. All right. Straight into it, boys. Let's do 5 sets here. This is going to be heavy. Oh. Let me just sit here for a bit. Stretch out a tad. 5 sets and we run. Oh, fuck. Oh. This machine, man, every day I think to myself, I feel like I'm going to get split in half. And it's not during the sets, it's just straight after when you let go and the leg can't go back into the normal position because of the machine. All right. The greatest way to finish a training session is with this. I literally walk away from here and I feel like there's no tension in my body at all, which is very uncommon in a lot of circumstances, which makes me think I have to think about how to make bench press feel like that. So like maybe finish with flies, although that's dangerous because like the flies have no end. You could tear a pec doing that after heavy benching. Maybe pullovers. Yeah, pullovers are great. Fuck, I wish I had the pullover machine. Pullover machine will like stretch everything. I'm off 2G. Patrick, you're going to go for a little run now in the sunny Spain on my lunch break. 32 hours, so I can't go for too long. All the best, Patrick, man. Thank you for chilling with me, dude. I'll catch you in the next one, I'm sure of it. See ya, man. All right. Second set, 3 more. We can make it. We can make it. Hip abduction grow glutes. I don't think they grow glutes. They're opposite to the glutes. Adduct is adduct, like squeeze. Glutes externally rotate, abduct. So they're kind of the opposite to the glutes, and they're also big, kind of like the glutes, so they kind of go yin-yang. Agonist-antagonist relationship, so they have a relationship. So I guess indirectly they make him grow. But I would say that's all. All right, set number 3. All right, 2 more. Brutal. George says, Ivan, quick thought for doing flies. If you have other benches, raised platforms, maybe set them up either side of your bench. Then you can get the stretch without risking tearing or stretching. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea, George. Somehow rig it up. Yeah, still get the stretch without overdoing it. Yeah. I've had one friend, or friend of a friend, who tore his pec. And he was using a Bosu ball, not very heavy. And so with one of those big Bosu balls, like by the time you get to this position, your arms are already touching the rest of the ball. And so he was doing that, and I think he was kind of, maxing it out in terms of reps, and he just bounced on the ball once and it just went. He tore a fiber, or I don't know how many fibers, but he tore his pec and he was bad. Sorry, Van. Last question, Lol. Just starting a new block. What are your top 5 squat accessories? Oh, when it comes to my squat and my accessories, it's all posterior chain, man. So things like straight away I'm thinking about, you know, RDLs, GHDs, good mornings, hamstring curls, all of that stuff. When I go into a heavy squat focus, I think about my posterior chain, glutes. Now that I have this, it's going to be a lot of that, a lot of the other stuff, abductors, just glutes, hamstrings. Because if you're doing, you know, lots and lots of reps on the squat, your quads are going to be fine. It just depends on the rest of your program, how you're going to go about it. But for me, that's what I need to feel good in a squat. Lots of back, lots of glutes, lots of hammies. That's how I unlock feeling better. All right, second to last set. Howdy, man. Have you tried Nordic hamstring curls, Willem? Yeah, I have. I'm not a fan of them, man. Not a fan of them at all. I think it's way too heavy to do any exercise in any part of your body, to do something where you are doing like negatives, because nobody can do a hamstring curl properly. So you're just doing negatives. Name me any other muscle group that we train like that. And why are we training the hamstrings that way? Why? I don't understand it. You know, it is literally starting from the most elite of exercises and reverse engineering it. I don't get it. Why not just do it like hamstring curls? I don't get it. Or GHDs. Don't know. I'm going to do 5 sets, Willem, with this thing. 5 sets. Next one's going to be the last one, and I'm rooted, man. Oh. Next one's going to be the last one. And I think I've had enough today. I'm disappointed about the bench press. Terrible. Have to give it some more time to see where it really ends up, but that sickness has really taken a lot out of me. If you guys can see that, the kid, he's a funny guy. My son just wrote on the paper, do you want to play Grand Theft Auto, Dad? He wants me to play Grand Theft Auto. He loves it. And I don't love playing it in front of him because it's not child friendly. But just, you know, driving the car around is okay. As long as you don't do the story. The story is too much swearing. Not for kids. All right, boys. Last set, let's make it a good one, eh? And then we chill. my God, I'm it. All right, boys, have to run inside now. Spent too long out here. What time is it? Then the 8 o'clock. Holy shit. All right, boys. Have to run inside quick. Get my youngest little guy and go to the shower. Shower him. What I do is I take him with me and I shower myself and him at the same time. So, Ms. Danish. Kyle, Danish, I'm sorry guys. Gonna have to run. I want to say same time. It's not gonna be same time tomorrow. Whenever today's stream started, I'm gonna do it 5 hours earlier tomorrow. Shift work life. So I will catch you guys 5 hours earlier tomorrow, maybe 6 hours earlier. And we'll go from there. We'll have another sesh. Calcium, George, Danish, everyone, George, oh my God, Miz, obviously, Willem, Tilivai, oh man, there's so many names, Greg, you guys are legends. I'll catch you all in the next one. Appreciate you, fellas. Bye-bye. Peace.